Are you struggling with the documentation for the Polish national visa? Then check this out. Hello everyone, welcome to I Born Poland YouTube channel. My name is Roshana Shamkader and today I'm going to share some information about the checklist for the Polish national visa. Before we move on to the video, I would like to tell you that I am not an immigration officer, nor an agent or a visa consultant. I'm sharing these informations with you purely based on my own experience and research. Keeping this in mind, let's move on to the video. When it comes to the documentations of the visa, many people are afraid and also they don't know what are the documents you need and where to find these informations. So today, through this video, I'm going to show you where exactly you can find these informations. For today's video, I have selected the official website of the Poland Embassy in India. If you're a candidate applying from India, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh or Maldives, you officially belongs to the Poland Embassy in India for New Delhi sector. But if you are applying from another country other than these countries, you have to check for the official embassy page where you are currently living. Because every country embassy has different documentations and processes. Therefore, you have to check and refer the information of the particular country's embassy page. Moving on to the checklist, I will show you the steps to follow to go to the checklist. In this page, if this page download in the Polish language, you can change the language into English by simply clicking over here. I hope you can see my cursor on the right side of the corner. Here you can change the language to English. Do not use the automatic translation. It's better if you could change the page into the English language. And now here you can see the consular information and then visas, D-type national visa, and under this you can find all the information related to D-type national visa. When I go to bottom of the page, here you can see materials. Under materials you have a sample model application of the D-type national visa and then the checklist for every category. I'll be downloading the checklist for national visa and the checklist would download like this. It's a PDF file so you can download it easily. When you're applying for the visa, you always hand in a number of supporting documents to the embassy. A checklist explains and helps you to know the documents you need to hand it in. So here, this checklist, you have the name, passport number, contact number and email, which you have to fill it before you hand over. And then when we move on to the next para, there is a small paragraph. Here you have to make sure that you prepare all the documents listed below and then attach with your application so you will not miss any documents. Otherwise, your visa will be refused by the Poland Embassy. And the required documents should only be submitted with the visa application. No documents will be accepted later via email. In case if you forget any documents, you cannot scan and send it to them later to refer this because your application is already on process. So keep this also in mind. So the first one you can see with the requirement documents is the passport. Always remember to renew your passport if its validity is less than 2 years before you apply for the Poland job, not the Poland visa. but the Poland job, because your visa will be granted. When you're applying for the visa, it will be granted for 1 year. So if your passport is less than 2 years while applying for your Poland work permit, then while you're applying for the visa, the time period has gone, and it will be difficult for you then to renew your passport and then provide the new passport, because you'll be traveling with another passport and your work permit information contains the old passport. So always make sure that you renew the passport if your passport validity is less than 2 years, and then apply for the Poland work permit. So your passport should be issued within previous 10 years. Remember that too. And also your validity should extend at least 3 months after the intent date of the departure in the Schengen territory, and contain 2 blank pages. As I told you before, make sure that your validity is more than this, at least 3 years. If it's less than 3 years or 2 years, it's better you always renew your passport and then apply for their Poland work permit. Moving on to the next one, visa application. Make sure that your visa application is without any blanks. If any section is not applicable for you, so you have to click on not applicable, and make sure that you don't do any mistakes, that later on you have to change it. So make a note of that as well. And 2 color photos. The specification of their picture is mentioned over here. So you have to take the photo according to these specifications and attach accordingly. Third one is the checklist, what you are looking at now. This checklist is also very important, that you line up all the documents according to this checklist and mark it, and then attach this as well while you're attaching all the documents. So this comes on into number 3. And the next one is a flight itinerary. Here it mentioned reservation only. But in some countries, embassies, if you visit some countries' embassy pages, their checklist, sometimes it mentioned as the flight itinerary reservation only with the cost. So you always have to refer to the official website of the current country which you are locating while applying for the visa. And this is only a dummy booking. It is not a purchased reservation. It's not a purchased booking. It's when you go to a ticketing agent, then if you say that you want a travel reservation for the visa purpose, then they will definitely give you a copy of the travel reservation. And you have to put the date and place of entry in this. Next one is the travel medical insurance. The travel medical insurance should issued by a company which is approved and meet the necessary conditions. Those informations you can find from this link. You can see over here, when you click on this link, you will download a document such as this, and here you have all the countries and the listed companies which is approved by the Poland embassy. So when you purchase travel insurance, you have to purchase from one of these listed companies, and you can find the country from here. And when you're purchasing the travel insurance, make sure that your travel date and the insurance date should match. If your travel insurance is expiring on 29 July, you cannot book your ticket for 31st July. Your ticket also has to be for 31st, for the 29th of July, the departure date. The departure date should be on the 29th July when your travel insurance is expiring. So make a note of that as well, otherwise your visa won't be granted. And handwritten certificates will not be accepted. Name of the insured should be in Latin alphabet. Travel insurance should be valid in all the Schengen areas and valid for the entire stay. Minimum coverage should be for 30,000 euros, and the cost should cover all the emergency medical treatments. So make a note of that as well. And all the requirements are listed over here, so you can go through it and purchase the travel medical insurance according to the requirement. And the next would be the document confirming the purpose of the trip, the original and valid work permit and its copy. Always make sure that you are providing a legal document, and if you want to know how the structure of a legal document, I have downloaded a separate video, you can check on that. And also you have to provide the bank statement here, past 3 months or past 6 months. The bank statement should contain balance. So make sure that you maintain a balance in your account. It has to be the value of your return ticket, of your one-way return ticket, and also first 3 months expenses in Poland, the value of first 3 months expenses in Poland. But generally, if you say, for example, if you have about $3,000 to $5,000 in your account as a balance, that would be a positive mark, a positive reason to grant your visa. So just I'm giving you a tip, so make a note of this as well. And also, when you're getting the bank statement, make sure that you inform your bank that you are going to apply for the visa, in case if the embassy contact them, to make sure that they respond the embassy immediately without any delay. They might call, they might send emails, so the bank has to respond them without any delay. And 6.2 is proof of registration of the employee company. This KRS, actually, this is a document which the Poland company is providing you. Many company don't provide, but some company do. So if you require these documents, you can request from the company that this is in the checklist, and if you could provide. But in case if they say no, they cannot provide you this document, then what you have to do is, when you check the company document, you can see the company stamp. On that stamp, they have mentioned the KRS number. So you can mention the KRS number over here. 6.3, original employment letter from the applicant's employer in Poland. All the contract, intent letters, accommodation proof, everything has to contain their email addresses, contact numbers, and also the address, and also their official stamp. And some provide all the information on the official letterhead, so that's the advantage as well. 6.4, it's not actually related to you. This is related to the company which are transferring their staff to Poland. This is mainly happening in HSBC. For example, the HSBC, if you have a branch in Sri Lanka, for example, and they transfer the staff from HSBC Sri Lanka to HSBC Poland. So in that case, they have to provide a company transfer letter. This is an international transfer of an employee. So in that case, they have to provide it. So if you're coming on a general employment, this is not related to you. 6.5, supporting documents. This is optional, but in case if you're providing any of these documents, make sure that you legalize from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. If it's a work experience letter or any other certificates, it has to be some English translated, as well as they have to be authorized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And the police clearance report is a requirement here. And number 7, accommodation. This accommodation letter some company provides. Some company mentioned in the contract or in the intent letter. So if it's mentioned in the intent letter or in the contract, you can mention it over here. Or if you can get a letter as an accommodation proof from the company directly, that would be an advantage. Additional documents, if you want, you can attach any additional documents which can justify your trip, and if you don't have, it's not a problem, you can mention as no. And number 9, a residency proof, an ID confirming the legal residence within the embassy territory. That means, for example, if you're a Sri Lankan and you have to apply for the visa from India, Poland embassy, then you have to provide your national identity card copy. But if your national identity card copy is in Sinhala, in the local language, the old format, then you have to apply for the new version and attach with this. And next one is the passport data. If you have any old passport, please make sure that you attach the copies of that passport. And also if you have any old visas, old travel history visa stamped, then you can attach those visas as well. That will be a plus point, and also it's a requirement in the checklist. So that's all about the checklist. This checklist has to be in order. You have to, when you're attaching all the documents, it has to be in this order. So make sure that you attach all the documents according to the order of this checklist, and then you hand over the application. So this checklist, actually you won't miss any documents which is necessary in the checklist. So now you know what are the documents required for the national visa and also where to get the checklist from. Now I will show you, in case if you are applying from UAE, then where you can find this checklist, because every website is different. This is the official page of the Poland embassy in UAE, and it's the same format. In case if this page you get it in Polish, same way you follow, that you change the language from here, Polish to English, and we go to the consular information, visas, D-type national visa. And here, when you go to the bottom under materials, you cannot find any checklist. So where you can find the documents which you need to submit? You simply click on what documents do I need to submit, and here you will find all the necessary documents for the visa and their policies, what you have to follow. So some like UAE, Qatar, also like Malaysia, these embassy web pages are contained like the same model, and in some like India, Romania, like that, they have a separate checklist as well. So always you have to go and read through the information which from the official website where you're currently living. So that is pretty much for today, and I hope this video was informative and useful for you. If it was, show some love by liking the video, sharing it with your friends, and also don't forget to leave a comment in the comment box about your feedback. And also, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and also click on the bell button so you will not miss any of my future videos in English version. I am planning to do some more videos in the English version, which I have already done in Sinhala, so you will not miss any of those English version videos. So I will see you all in the next video. Till then, take care. Papa.